Hello, welcome to Just Vintage Crochet. Okay, like in my last mystery pattern, I let you guys know that I desperately want to learn how to work out this stitch. Now, since I am filming this immediately following making that mystery pattern, I haven't had a chance to learn from y'all how to pronounce this. So I went to Professor Google and it is pronounced Muscovite. I even listened to an audio of it. This actually has a meaning and it's a thing. It's more of a thing than a meaning. It is a mineral. It is in the mica family. I'll show you what pictures of it looks like, which might be why they chose the color pattern that they did. It likely is why. But also people from Moscow are called Muscovites. So that's interesting as well. Now let's look at what Muscovite is, and then it'll make sense why they want you to use crimson, green or art green, sky blue, and amber. Okay, so I am going to attempt this stitch now for the 4th time in 2 years. The first time I tried it, no, I was so confused. The second time I felt like I was getting close, but it just wasn't turning out right. The third time I started and I gave up as soon as I started. I'm like, I just know I'm not going to get this. I don't even want to try. I'm going to try, and I'm not going to stop until I get it right. Okay. This is that same rusty color from the mystery pattern. I will be buying cotton for that. I want to make a set. I want to make 2 of them. They are so pretty. I'm going to put a little loop at the top so that I can hang them so everyone can see them in the springtime. Okay, here we go. This antimacassar will be found most useful. Now, I think as I look at it, I think it is fitted, like it's closed on the side here. So I think it fits over the back of a chair, like a sort of like a mitten. It says right here, will be found most useful as it fits closely to the back of an easy chair and cannot by any possibility fall off or get disarranged. Yeah, I think it just, like a glove. Required, doesn't matter. I'm just going to use what I have. But that's what is required. Double Berlin. If you pick up, here we go. I sell these in my Etsy shop. This gives you yarn conversions and everything, stitch conversions, needle and hook, or just hook conversions. Old terminology. This walks you through how to work an antique and a vintage pattern. So there will be a link for that down below, but I'm not going to worry about this. It does call for double Berlin, which is essentially like a DK. No, it's like a sport weight. Okay, so we know the shades and everything like that. The quantity will depend upon the size of the antimacassar is to be. I didn't read that one right, but you get what it means. The model, which is a large one, takes a little over 11 pounds of materials in all. Bone crochet needle number 8. The antimacassar is worked throughout end point. Muscovite, I said it earlier and I already forgot. Stitch, first row. So hopefully this goes into how to work that stitch exactly, because this isn't the same pattern I tried to work before. I thought maybe new pattern, new try, new everything, new day. Okay. See here, commence with 29 chains. I'll be right back. I'm going to make 29 chains. And I just upped to a 5.5 millimeter because I'm not sure how tight or loose the stitch is going to wind up being. All right, 1 single crochet. I'm going to read this in US terms. It is written in UK terms. Okay, 1 single crochet on the first of the chain. Insert the hook in the next chain and draw the wool through. I'm just going to take this one little step at a time. Okay, so 1 single crochet. Then it says, insert the hook in the next chain, draw the wool through, work 4 chain stitches. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Wool over the needle and draw through the 2 stitches on the needle. Okay. 1 single crochet in the next foundation chain. I think I need to push this one forward because that's what it looks like in the picture. So far, so good. Is it just a matter of different pattern, perhaps different author, maybe was a little less wordy and confusing? I'm getting it this time. We'll see. Okay, next foundation chain. A point in the next. I'm assuming this is a point. So in the next, that was draw through and work 1, 2, 3, 4, then draw through then draw through both. Okay. I have to move this here. Okay. Then 1 single crochet in the next and so on. A point and a single crochet alternately all along. Break off the wool at the end of this and every row. Ew, that's okay. Y'all know I don't like to do that. Okay. If that is literally all it is, why was this so difficult? Let me see if I can find the pattern that gave me the most trouble with this and see how it's worked. Okay, here is the pattern I tried to work before, right here. Ladies, shoulder cape. And I think I can see where I'm getting confused. You see what it's called? Point Battenberg. It's not Point Muscovite at all. I simply got confused. This is a lovely raised pattern, and the cape is suitable either for wearing to the opera or for general use, according to the material employed. So depending on your material. Our model is worked with white double Berlin wool, of which 1 pound will be required, a bone crochet needle number 8. Commence with 49 chains for the front of the cape. First row, 1 single crochet in the second chain from the needle. Insert the hook in the next stitch, draw the wool through, work 6 chains, wool over the needle, and draw through the 2 stitches on the needle, 1 single crochet on the next. That sounds easy. Just sounds like the other one. It's just bigger. It's just bigger. So what was my problem? Maybe it's because I have now worked so many of these older patterns, these antique patterns, that the wording just makes sense to me now. Do you suppose that could have anything to do with it? I mean, 2 years, 3 years makes a difference. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this seems pretty easy. Now, what I would do, just to be kind of lazy about it, because I don't like cutting at the end of every row, and I think maybe most of you don't either, I'll work 1 more of these, and then I'll show you what I'll do. You're probably already thinking it. You're probably already thinking it. Okay. So what I would do is work a row of single crochet. 1, 2. Yeah, the single crochets are just, you can easily see where your stitch needs to go. I think skip that one. No, because then that would short me a stitch, wouldn't it? Right? let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you can't skip that. So this big open right here, you'd have to work in it. And then in the top of that single, then in the top of this loop, let's see what that does to the stitch. Probably nothing. Except for we can avoid cutting at the end of every row, or you can slip stitch over. We'll try that one too. And then another single crochet, next stitch over. Yeah, easy. But they're on top of each other. In the picture, they were staggered. So I would say you still want to keep your solid border, but maybe work 2 single crochet in a row and then the point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close it up. Single crochet over the top of the next point and then work a point. Let's see how that's going to look. 2, 3, 4. I wonder what it would look like if I just did this. Wonder what would happen. Oh, that actually looks kind of better than doing, the pattern does say to yarn over and complete the point, to yarn over and pull through the last 2 stitches, but I kind of like the way this one looks better without yarning over. See how this is really big and open? This one's less. And let me do that one more time and we'll look at the picture and see which one looks more like the picture. Just pull through on your 4th one. And then single, single. That staggers them. I think this looks way more like the picture. Okay, let's look at the picture. Yeah. Oh, 100%. These two right here look way more like the actual picture. If it could stand up straight, yeah, don't they? And then look at the ones on the bottom, the way they droop. Huge difference. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so this time I want to stagger them again. So I'm just gonna work 1 single. Oh yeah, I got to work a single across. No. Let's see what it looks like working a slip stitch across. So I will chain 1 and slip stitch. And I'm going to work these slips kind of loose so I can work back in them again as if they were single crochets. So I'm working them kind of loose. And if you want a loose slip stitch, the loop on your hook needs to be the loose one. See how that's loose? Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm keeping with my stitch count of 9 so far for this little sample. Because if you want the points to be much closer, then yeah, for sure, just slip stitch across. Okay, so now I'm going to work a single crochet through both loops. I'm going to treat that slip stitch like a single crochet. And in the very next stitch over to stagger them, so now this one will be worked over the top of this one. And I'm just going to go in both loops like that. Working them loose helps me achieve that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, I really do like the way this looks better. Next stitch over. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm working these pretty firm because I want that stitch to be defined. Look at that one there is like almost a perfect match. Like you look at this right here. Yeah, I don't think we are meant to be chaining or we're meant to be yarning over to complete the chain by pulling through the last two. I don't think we need to do that, but it did say to do that in the instructions. See, I'm going to work these a little firm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty firm on that. And then just pull that through. Pop that forward. This one looks so much like the picture. Yeah, I like the way this looks like this way more than these loose floppy ones. Way more. Let me just complete this row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my last single on the end. And I am liking it with the slip stitch. And look, with the slip stitch, look at this really neat texture you get between the, let's do that again. I'm going to see if I can eliminate that line right there if perhaps you don't like that line. Let's see. I think I have an idea how we can eliminate that. Oh, I do need to chain 1 though for a slip stitch. Make sure that it's loose so I can work back into it. But I think I'm just going to work in the front loop of it, and I'll show you what I mean to try to eliminate that line in case some might find it unsightly and want it to be more seamless, like how this one looks seamless. And that's achieved by working just the front of the work and cutting off at the end of every row. Okay, so I think in order to avoid that line, I'll need to come down here and work. Once I work the first one, it should roll all of these toward the top. Work my first 2 single crochets because I want to stagger this again. See there, it rolled everything to the top just by working that one. So now my slip stitches are in the back. So now I have pushed the slip stitches out of the way and I'm going to be working the tops of these stitches here. Work first 2 singles and then a point stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that just completely eliminated that line. And let's bring that point to the front. There we go. There's the point stitch. Make another point stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then single crochet and a point stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet, and we'll try the 6 next time. We'll next row up I do this. Yeah, look, you completely eliminate that line and it now looks almost exactly like the picture. There you go. We really worked it out, avoiding all that extra work of having to, yeah, we're gonna, there we go. Avoiding all that extra work, you know, cutting at the end of every row. Boo. Okay, I'm gonna work my slip stitches again. But the next time over, this next row over, I'm gonna work the 6 chains. Yeah, there we go. So with working slip stitches every other row, this will work up a bit slower. And my ends are textured, but that could be part of the design. If you really like it, You don't have to worry about an edge. It's making its own picot edge, because that looks like little picots, doesn't it? I mean, but yeah, no, it's happening on both sides. It's happening on both sides. No, it's not. It's only happening on one side. Okay. See if I can eliminate that. Let's just see if I can eliminate that the next go around. Okay. Now I need to bring it to the edge. So I'm just going to work one single crochet, and I'm going to come over here and work through these 2 bottom loops here. This will roll this whole row over. Get my first single crochet worked. Now I'm going to work a 6-point stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull that through and single crochet in the next. And it looks like the 4. Looks just like the 4 when you work a single crochet at the top of it. So there's that. I want to try to eliminate this edge. It would make for a really cute picot edge, but it's only happening on one side. So that's not going to work. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to work this all the way to the edge and see if there's something I can do to eliminate this, because I want to work this in the slip stitches because it looks so much like the picture when worked in slip stitch. But chaining 1 for the sake of the slip stitch is causing this. Yeah, I love that we were able to figure out a workaround to the cutting off at the end. I mean, look at this. It just looks, it looks so much like, if you ignore the bottom part, it looks so much like the picture now. Okay, so I think if I turn and just draw way up, not way, way up, but up enough, I think I can just work a slip stitch without chaining 1. And we'll see what kind of nightmare that gives me. That last stitch might be hard to work back into, but already it's cleaning up that edge. Don't want that to be too loose. Okay, this time around I need the 2 single crochet. Oh, no, 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 no. That's right. We got to roll these 2 stitches forward, or these 2 loops. My bad. The first one is kind of tricky to get into. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to work this to the end. I'm going to work a few rows of this and see if it cleans up the edge. This is what we have so far, though. Well, by not yarning over, it has cleaned up the edge quite a bit. And you can see all the slip stitches back here, except for down here where we kept the line. This is really kind of strange looking here, isn't it? Yeah, it's like, but there's that stitch that I just struggled with forever, and it was absolutely nothing. Wow. Well, I have a bonus. What got me to dig into that book and re-find one of these patterns and try again is I was digging through a box of patterns and I found this with a whole bunch of pattern books just sort of crunched on it like this. I opened it up to see what it was. It says just for fun. It's Tunisian crochet from 1886. And would you look at that right there? That is what got me to go look in the book and go, that's it. This is my sign. I need to try to work that stitch again. Well, let's try it with Tunisian crochet. Okay, I'm going to use this light colored yarn. I want to see how this stitch looks in dark and light. If you lose stitch definition and, you know, more stitch definition in dark as opposed to light. So what is going on here? Look at this. What are you doing? Oh no. Oh, I see what's happening. Now I know you all have done that too before, so I don't even feel dumb. I know it. Okay, and I am going to use a vintage Susan Bates. You could barely see that it says Susan Bates. See if I can get it to focus. You could barely see that it says Susan Bates. These are from the 50s and 60s, 1950s and 60s, and this is a 6mm. Not for any particular reason. This doesn't even call for anything. It's just what I'm going to use. So it says here, work up the loops as for ordinary Tunisian crochet. It does say tricot, but whenever I use that word in reference to Tunisian crochet, French people come for me, and I can kind of understand why. The reason I say kind of is I didn't do it. I'm just reading what's on the paper, but they get kind of annoyed because in French, tricot means knit. So when they knit, like with 2 needles, that's tricot. So they get a little annoyed that Tunisian crochet is being called tricot. Well, I didn't do it. Okay, so I'm going to call it Tunisian crochet. So it's not asking me for any number of chains to start off with. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick a random number. I went with 21. Seems like a two stitch repeat though. Well, I went with 21. Okay. So it says here, work up the loops as for ordinary tricot. Work off the okay, that gets into this stitch. Okay, work up the loops as for ordinary tricot. So we're going to go ahead and put the loops on the hook. And I shall be right back so I don't bore you with this. All right. Now it says here, work off the first loop. Okay. Then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Work off the next 2 loops, repeat from star. Okay. So 1, 2, and then repeat from star is chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then work off the next 2 loops. 1, 2, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and work off 2 loops. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is, it's so easy. Why was this so hard for me to figure out before? Like, I'm going to need someone to explain that to me. I don't understand how it just suddenly clicked. Okay, that was chain 3. It just suddenly clicked. It wasn't difficult at all. To the point where this all seems so dramatic. Ooh, attempting a difficult stitch, and it's not. Ugh. Oh well. Oh well. I'm glad I figured it out. Okay, well, 21 was not the right chain count. So I am 1 stitch short. I should have went for 22. I should have went for 22. 2, 3. Too late to do it now. And then work off. Oh, wait, no, it did work out. Look, 1, 2. It did work out. 21. Okay. End on an odd number. There you go. End on an odd number. Not really, though, because you can't end on a 3. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't want to say for sure. All right. Now it says here, second row, work up the loops like last row, then chain 3, work off 2 loops, repeat from star. Commence at first row. So pick the stitches back up again like the first row. And what do I do with the loops? Just like in the last pattern, I'm going to push them forward. Oh, wait a minute. Is this clicking as well? Okay, I'm going to push this loop forward and then come pick up the bar right next to it. Oh, would you look at that? There it is. There it is. So push that forward. And you can probably push them forward after you work the row. Like you probably don't have to do it during. But it's not that hard. I mean, of course it's not hard, but it's not that annoying. Let's see, I'll just leave it hanging out in the back and see. Yeah, you can just push them forward afterward. Yeah. And then just push it forward. It's a little bit more time consuming, I feel like, though. Just push it forward and pick up that loop right there. Probably gets easier as it gets bigger too, like most things with crochet and knit. As it grows, it gets easier to handle and easier to work. Look at that. Well, my goodness. That was easy. That was really easy. And I think I'm going to skip the 3 chains and just come down here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So this 4th chain right here is the one I need to work into on the side. So that was chain 1. Now this is going to cause them to stack. Well, let's see how they look stacked. 1, 2, 3. And you know what I'm going to do, just to make it easy for me to see. Oh, that was way up in your face. I'm going to mark this right here. This is where I need to work my last stitch into, right there. Well, no, I split that, didn't I? There we go. That is where I need to work my last stitch. That way I don't have to fuss with it. And then work off 2. One, 2, chain 3. Yeah, it might look cool stacked on top of each other instead of staggered. We saw the staggered. One, 2, 3. I'm still working these a little firm. Wonder what it would look like if I just went like this. Is that going to be another one of those like revelations, like that's the way it should be? Let's try it this time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, maybe when it says work off the next 2 stitches, this is what it means. I'm going to see how it looks. 1, 2, 3. And then work off the next stitch. 1, 2, 3. And work off the next. 1, 2, 3. Because what I was doing before was 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And that made basically 4 chains. But I want to see what it looks like with just 3 chains. Like that. 1, 2, 3, and the last. All right, moment of truth. Pick them all back up. Well, they're not as defined, are they? Uh-oh. Yeah. No, it's got to be the way it was before. This just disappears. It does nothing. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to undo that and put all of my stitches back on the hook. Well, I suppose you can see this part, how to frog it and fix it. I'm just pulling, undoing some stitches, 2 right there. So I'll pick those 2 up, 2 more, pick these 2 up, 1, and don't you go away now. 2, and do some more. There's 2 more. 1, 2. There we go. Easy peasy. Now I didn't do them all this way. I think the first 1 or 2 I did the right way. Yeah. Okay. So that was 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2, essentially having 4 chains. 1, 2, 3. You could almost say 3, 4, 5. That kind of makes it easy. You got to yarn over for each action. 1, 2, 3, then yarn over makes 4, yarn over makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, 4, again, 5. 2, 3. This is so easy. Oh my goodness, I feel silly, but at the same time, not at all. I'm so happy. I am so giddy. What am I going to do with this stitch? A scarf. Obviously, I have to make a scarf with this, but I need some nice wool. I don't want to make it out of acrylic. I'm going to keep practicing with acrylic though. Now, if you had some cotton, this would make a really great scrubby with those knobbies like that. Oh, heck yes. If you're a little bored with just traditional crochet, get you some cotton. Tunisian. Tunisian is the cure for traditional crochet boredom. 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a good size for a washcloth too. The 21 stitches, that's a pretty good size. You got 2 hands worth of width. 2 of my hands anyway. All right, I'm going to pick these back up. I'm going to work a few rows. I want to really get a good look at this stitch. This is so clever the way they've figured out how to do this. This is just so clever. I absolutely adore this. I am so grateful to people who come up with this stuff years before we were even born. That's how they look staggered, or not staggered, but stacked. That is very uniform. I dig it. I really do. I like both ways. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and work a few rows of this. I'm going to work this one all the way to the end with you, though. And then I'm going to work a few rows on my own and be back so you can see how that looks. It's getting easier to access that first bar on the other side of the chain. It is, now that I have more control back here with my fingers. It's quite a bit easier. And look, my chain marker right there, my stitch marker, chain marker. Just go right in there, work, pick up my last stitch, chain one, and that is where my next stitch will go, into that chain one I just made. Right there. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like having a cadence in my head, you know, like a numerical cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's a few more rows added on. It's kind of a little bit stiff, so maybe a bigger hook, I'm not sure, but it's not too stiff, but yeah, it's not, it would make a good blanket. Look how thick that is. Solid in the back. It would make a good blanket. But yeah, that's, okay, so that is the Muscovite stitch, both in Tunisian and traditional crochet. Here we go. The traditional crochet. Definitely like this up here with the slip stitches. Look at that. It just looks so much like the picture now. Or you could have this interesting line go through, although mine is a little wonky because I was playing with it. I wasn't really doing this super seriously, but I think it was a lot of fun to learn this. There is another stitch in this book that I tried to learn how to do. As soon as I got the book, I was flipping through and I found this one stitch. This will be for another video. I struggled with this one too, the thistle pattern. Oh, it was the first thing I tried to make out of this book. So I'm going to try the thistle pattern in the future. Okay, maybe it'll be easy peasy too, now that I'm a little more experienced with some of this older terminology. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I think I learned a lot. Hopefully we all learned a lot from this. And if nothing else, we at least learned another stitch. Or maybe this is a familiar stitch. I've never used it or seen it before, but maybe it's a familiar stitch to one of you, but you didn't know it used to be called that. Who knows? All right, love you guys lots. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.